how long your TEDx talk should be. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around this beautiful, beautiful world. And happy Friday! How are you doing on Friday? So hot. It's just unbelievable hot in the Europe. Let me know in the comments where you're watching it from. Is it as hot as right now in Europe where you are? I don't know about you, but yeah, you can tell. Absolutely. Anyway, how long your TEDx talk should be is the topic of today, the Red Dot Speaker Star podcast and episode today on Friday. Let me know how you're doing and where you're watching it from. I'm going to dive deep directly into what exactly you should know about the length of a TEDx talk. So you can choose the best length for you. I'm going to give you 3 different options. So stay till the end. I'm going to just first say that I always speak with people who, some of them, like literally the spectrum is like this, okay? Some of those people is like, oh my God, I have so many things to say and I don't have enough time because TEDx is limited on time. I don't know what to do. And the other side of the spectrum, the people is like, oh my God, like I don't have that much time, that many things to say, and I don't know what to do with all this time what TEDx is giving me. So it's literally the two opposites. I've heard it. People come to me to say both of them, and I always give them the 3 options, which I'm going to give you today. So, of course, regardless which side of the spectrum you are, of course, the question is how long your TEDx talk should be and how to decide how long that TEDx talk should be. First of all, what I want you to remember is that according to the rules, the TEDx rules, the maximum length of a TEDx talk is 18 minutes. Okay. However, from these 18 minutes, I want you to now think about that. From the 18 minutes, there is something called pre-roll and post-roll. And I'm going to explain that. Pre-roll, you always start watching TEDx talk, and you know that they always start with some kind of an advertising as of TEDx, the TEDx event itself, the sponsors of that specific TEDx events, etc. They're usually about 15 seconds. Then the post-roll is actually exactly the same slides of the advertising of those same sponsors and who actually created the TEDx, etc. So this is about 10 seconds. So this in total is about 25 seconds. And to be safe, as that is eating from your time, to be safe, I always say that the maximum length for you to do a TEDx talk is 17 minutes. So what's going to happen if you go above 17 minutes, which is actually above 18 minutes when we put the post-roll and the pre-roll and post-roll? What's going to happen with your TEDx talk is that it's going to go for manual review as of why is above the permitted length of 18 minutes, right? Which basically means that once your TEDx talk is submitted with the TED headquarter, it's going to take much longer time than the usual as of TEDx headquarter to publish your TEDx talk, okay? So usually it takes anything between 2 hours and 5 days, depending on what time of the day it has been submitted, right? And how many TEDx talk are there to be submitted with the headquarter. However, if it's longer than 18 minutes because it's above the permitted by the rules length of a TEDx talk, your talk is going to be for manual check, and that's going to take much longer than 5 days, roughly I'm talking about. If you have any kind of questions, put them in the comments below. I want to see them. I'm going to answer straight away. So just put any kind of questions you've got. And I want to see who is watching. Say hi. I don't see my comments right now. Again, I don't know what's happening, but hey, just keep the questions and your comments going on. I'm gonna absolutely check again in a second. So here are 3 different perspectives and options to choose from as of how long your TEDx talk should be. The number one if you're willing to have a challenge and challenge yourself, then I want you to do your TEDx talk within 5 to 8 minutes. Up until a month ago, I was saying 6 to 8 minutes. Now I'm lowering down to 5 to 8 minutes. The longer you wait to do your TEDx talk, the shorter that time is going to go. And I'm going to explain exactly why on earth that time is getting less and less. The reason why TEDx is giving you 18 minutes. I already shortened to 17 minutes. And now I'm telling you, like, actually, you should do it in 5 to 8 minutes. The reason why is because the attention span nowadays of the human brain is super, super short. Microsoft did a research back in 2020 after the pandemic started. Actually, it was November 2020 when they did that research, and they said the attention span is now 8 seconds. I'm going to explain that as well. So here are some stats what I've seen specifically for YouTube, as your TEDx talk is going to go on YouTube, and therefore whatever is happening on YouTube is kind of directly oh my God, I'm losing my words today. It's directly changing the TEDx world as well, right? And there was no wonder why TED headquarters said, like, actually there is a limitation how long a TED and TEDx talk should be. So before 2020, the sweet spot for videos on YouTube was 10 to 15 minutes. What happened because of pandemic, of course, is that in 2020, most watched YouTube videos were 8 to 10 minutes. So it went from 10 to 15 minutes within literally less than 12 months. It went from 10 to 15 minutes down to 8 to 10 minutes. Okay. Now, 12 months later, end of 2021, the YouTube videos had the sweet spot of 8 minutes. That was the reason why the first option what I gave you was to do it and challenge yourself to do it up to 8 minutes, 5 to 8 minutes. However, what I was saying, like, up until a month ago, I was saying 6 to 8 minutes. Now I'm giving you 5 to 8 minutes. Why on earth Biljana is changing the rules and changing her, advices? The reason why is because what I've seen right now is that the YouTubers, the people who are constantly publishing videos, and they know the sweet spots and how the human behavior is changing constantly. And there are amazing platforms like vidIQ, which is analyzing all the performance of all the different type of videos. So the YouTubers recommends right now the videos to be 4 to 5 minutes. That's in general the YouTube videos. Okay. Of course, a TEDx talk in 4 minutes is still kind of feels like it's way too short. Even for me, I would not recommend you to do a TEDx talk for 4 minutes. But if you can do it in 5, in just about 5 minutes, go ahead and do it. Okay. Cut the fluff. I'm going to give you a very quick few tips as of how to make it super short in a second. But cut the fluff and do it as short as possible. And basically, the reason why the YouTubers are saying 4 to 5 minutes is because there's something what I personally call it the 60 seconds, the 60th second action. What happens is that people start watching a video, and put a yes in the comment if you're one of those. People start watching video, and somewhere around the 60th second, even the 30th second of watching something, they hover the mouse on top of the video just to see how long is the video. What's happening in their brain is that if the video is longer than 10 minutes, even 10 minutes and 50 seconds, what they're basically thinking is like, oh my God, I don't have time right now. It's 10 minutes of their life. Put a yes if you're one of those. I am one of those, okay? And what sometimes even I do is like, I'm going to save it for later, and I'm going to watch it later on. Later on never comes, okay? I swear to God, I've got 2 phones. I've got 2 different YouTube channels. One is my business channel, one is my personal channel, so I don't mix them. In both YouTube channels, what I've got is watch later, and I have about 200 videos what I want to watch at some point, and that point is like constantly never happening. Like I've got videos I saved from years ago, and every time when I have time, and usually lunchtime, I scroll through watch later, and I choose what to watch right now because it's interesting topic, okay, because there's so many different topics, and that's exactly what's happening, and it's gonna happen with your audience. Exactly the same behavior. I mean, I'm not different from anyone else, and I can tell you that the speed I add videos in watch later is much faster than the speed I'm watching those videos watch later. And I've got TEDx talks what I put that they're super interested. I want to watch them for various reasons. And it's like a backlog. So the 60th second action, what I'm talking about, is exactly this, as people literally like hover their mouse the moment when it's longer than 10 minutes. Somehow, subconsciously, we're like, it's too long. I don't have time right now. Always again, it's just 10 minutes. So I want you to remember that if you can deliver a TEDx talk in 8 minutes, just in 8 minutes, it's going to be a challenge for you, okay? But that automatically means that, pretty much automatically, it means that your TEDx talk has the chance to be seen by a lot more people than if it's longer than 8 minutes. So I'm going to put it as a banner at the bottom, but the views compared to talks that are longer is going to be much higher if it's a TEDx talk which is 8 minutes or less than 8 minutes. So again, you can see I gave you those stats that the attention span and the most watched videos are those videos which are less and less time as a length for the videos. So if you want me to give you a really amazing example, is one of my favorite TEDx talks. It's Tracy Young. Her TEDx talk is called How Vulnerability Makes You a Better Leader. It was published in November 2020. Her TEDx talk is, oh my God, 7 minutes and 55 seconds, something like this. It's just below 8 minutes. Spot on. She cut the fluff. And at the end, what I love about this TEDx talk is that at the very end, she put one sentence, watch the talk please, and just see it as a structure. At the end, she put a sentence which literally opened up conversations in the future, okay? Because what happens as well is that I love you so much. I've got so many mentees coming, TEDx, future TEDx speakers. They come to me as becoming my mentee, and they write scripts, and I start cutting so many stories, and they're like, these stories are so important because they're part of my life. And I always try to explain that TEDx is not the place where you're going to tell the story of your life. It's a specific topic. It's a specific reason why you chose those stories, which serves your wisdom and your audience and your goal. Okay, these are the 3 things what it needs to serve. That's how we choose the stories, what needs to be added. So again, if you want to achieve it in 8 minutes, you're gonna cut a lot of stories. Watch Tracy Young, because she didn't tell the like this lady is amazing. There's so many things happening in her life, but she didn't come on stage to tell the whole story of her life, right? So go and watch it. It's absolutely brilliant. Now, the number 2 option, what I'm going to give you, is to do a TEDx talk. If you think that 5 to 8 minutes is way too short and it's going to put way too much pressure on you, then I want you to do a TEDx talk within 10 minutes. Because this for TEDx, this is still kind of the sweet spot. The moment when you go above 10 minutes, you're just going into completely different level. I'm going to say like group of TEDx talk. But if you still keep it within 10 minutes, you're going to have less views than if it's 8 minutes or less than 8 minutes, but it's still good sweet spot, 10 minutes maximum. to still have a chance to have a lot of views on your videos. So talks between 10 and 15 minutes. I want you to do this. I want you to use a short, snappy key phrase, which basically is the summary, the synopsis of your wisdom. And I want you to repeat that key phrase, that wisdom, every 2 minutes. I'm going to give you an example of this. Alina Timofeeva, Fail But Never Give Up. It was published December 2021. Her talk was, oh my God, her talk was, don't quote me on that, it was about 11 minutes, okay, or 12 minutes, somewhere there. So it was above 10 minutes. And still, she still keeps the attention because of that key phrase, what I was giving you. So go and watch it. Put Alina Timofeeva on YouTube. Even you don't put the title, it will still come as an option. But do watch it and check the key phrase, because the way how you keep the attention, the longer your video is, the more times you need to repeat that key phrase, that very short, snappy wisdom sentence, which is the pivot of your wisdom. You need to repeat that wisdom throughout the talk, so you're going to keep that attention going, because people want to remember something out. So it's not just about the storytelling now. The longer your TEDx talk is, storytelling is going to keep attention to a certain point. But then if you don't have that key phrase embedded in your TEDx talk, the brain of whoever is watching is going to be gone, because they're going to associate themselves with you, with your talk, through your storytelling, and they're going to be gone, because they're going to be gone in their own life and start thinking about themselves instead of being present and listening to you. So I hope that makes sense. Put the yes in the comment if that makes sense. Put any kind of questions in the comments. Put hashtag live if you're watching it live. Put hashtag replay if you're watching it on replay. I want to see comments coming. I do believe I've got, again, issue with my comments because I don't see them, but I'm going to answer all those comments. So keep them going with comments and any kind of questions you've got. So put a yes if all I said so far makes sense, so I will know that it's correct. And if not, I will explain it again, but in a different way. And number 3, as I'm going to give you 3 options, is that if you're presenting a very complicated topic and you need to explain a lot more, then please use the full length of 17 minutes. Still, the beauty of TEDx is that because it's TEDx, somehow majority of the people kind of expect that this video is going to be longer than 10 minutes. Of course, the talks needs to present hot topics. They need to present very debatable ideas. They have to be telling projects and science and topics what no one touches, no one talks about. In those cases, time never matters. It literally, it doesn't matter how long it is, but because not many people around the world are there to speak on that specific topic, of course that's going to be interesting for your audience, and they're going to just forget about the time and they're going to keep watching. So again, use great storytelling and public speaking skills to keep that attention going. Use a key phrase to repeat your wisdom throughout your speech every 2 minutes or so. So the whole, like, overall, what I'm going to give you as advice is that you have to feel comfortable with the timing. Don't rush it. When you practice, don't rush it, okay? When you practice, I want you to be with exact speed as of standing on stage. Every time when you practice, I want you to be like in your mind, to be in front of the audience on that stage, without that rush, which you're gonna have always at the beginning, because that's the adrenaline of standing on a TEDx stage. Okay, so you have to feel that super comfortable space with the timing. That's when you're gonna know that your timing is perfect and you absolutely nailed it. But again, just to give you the three options, it's anything between 5 to 8 minutes if you are up for a challenge. Tracy Young is a great example. Anything between 8 and I'm going to say 8 to 10 minutes. So up to 10 minutes. The great example is Alina Timofeeva. And then anything which is the full length, which is 17 minutes, not 18 again. 17 minutes. Just put it out there. And the longer you're going to have your video, the less engagement you're going to have, the less views you're going to have, sadly, because that's how we think nowadays. Like, we start watching something, it's like, oh my god, this is more than 10 minutes, I don't have time right now. Okay, I still don't see comments. It has been 21 minutes so far. That's so sad, because I do want to answer all your questions. So let's do it this way. Put all your questions in the comments. I'm going to answer them offline straight away. I'm going to go and also put the links to those TEDx talks to the minutes. I'm going to just rewatch on the replay myself, and I'm going to put the link to those TEDx talks, which is going to be great. So all questions are very welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today for the Red Dot Speaker Star podcast, and happy Friday again. I'm wishing you an amazing weekend ahead. Hope the heat is getting lower, but I don't think so. Not yet. Well, it's summer, right? Happy summer. I'm going to see you next Friday. Sending you love. I love you all, and I'm going to see you next Friday.